Hey guys, we'll give people a few minutes to roll on in. As always, if anyone would have anything that they'd like discussed or brought up, feel free to put it in the chat. Otherwise, let's just sink into the room. Attention at the forehead and crown. Just let your day come to a stop. And let your eyes take in the entire room at once. Let yourself slow way down. And begin to focus on the breath. As you breathe in, you're aware that you're inhaling. As you exhale, you're riding that breath all the way down. And when the mind comes in to tell you to do something else, you simply abide with the breath. What if you just leave your day behind and show up in this moment? Where nothing has to happen. Just you in your body, breathing in this moment. Stop interpreting life and just be present for it. Nothing to understand, nothing to master, nothing to attain. What if you just stopped assigning meaning to anything right now? What would it even be without your filter of meaning? Just put it all down and experience what you are. Nothing to present. Nothing to hide. Nothing to protect. Let the light touch it all. Just open it all up so that it can breathe, evolve, evaporate. There's a deeper layer. You have to let it unfold. Let it open up to the light. All the way to the core of your being, open and available, so that you can finally be comfortable. if you just let it be okay? Open up into this exactly the way it is. Let it be okay. It's up to you. Where it doesn't feel okay, the reason it doesn't feel okay is because of the meaning that you've assigned to it. Those stuck spots. They're areas where you've decided something is unsafe, unfair, unpleasant, too busy, too rushed. And it's not really a characteristic of the spot. It's a characteristic of your meaning making. The meaning that you assign to things creates a series of filters through which you experience freedom. And those filters are so layered that it doesn't look anything like freedom. But you haven't changed its nature. You've just created a filter with meaning. A lot of the meaning making in my life gets tripped up around the idea of being very busy, not having enough time. But time, surely some of you are starting to figure out from these classes that time is a feeling. You can change the feeling and time just stretches out. When I sit down to teach, I shift out of my entire system of meaning. And everything just spreads out before me. And while it seems like some kind of superpower, it's in the hands of any human being. It's a choice. To stop interpreting life through my filters. First, you have to know that they're not real, that you made them. That's hard because many of them were made before the age of 5 years old. But anyone in this class right now has had the experience of stepping beyond things like that. So you know what a shift in the attention does. You know, I could bring other filters in, like a desire not to screw up, a desire not to say the wrong thing, and the class wouldn't work. I just put them all down because I don't need any of them to do any of this. I don't need any of them to relate to the part of you that I want to relate to, the part that I want to wake up, the part of you that's free. Without those filters, you get to see your freedom in me. You get to hear it in my voice. In the comfortable pauses. The spaces that no one's rushing to fill. But you come here because you're looking for a mirror for that part of yourself. And it's easy to provide that for you. It's so much simpler than the way most people live their life. It's so much simpler than the life I have where I have to relate to people's personalities. You need to be able to relinquish your meanings. Wherever you can't, then you know you've got an area where you're misunderstanding something. An area where you're misidentified with something. Probably a misidentification that started long before you were really conscious of what you were doing. It'll be that thing that isn't natural to put aside. You put it aside and your body kind of aches a little. You feel uncomfortable, scrambly. The way you felt when you first started coming to classes like this. It's almost like an anger. Because your body knows if you stay in that released state another minute, you're going to change in a way that can't unchange. But you do it anyways because the freedom is more important. For most people, meaning making is a prison that they don't even know they built themselves. Once you're freed up, meaning making becomes a tool to relate to and inspire other people. Also a tool to moderate your own feelings, your own experience of life. When I wake up in the mornings, I usually spend some time chanting, actually a long time chanting. But I often wake up with a lot of other people's feelings inside of me and things like that. And they're usually filled with busyness and a sense of time. A feeling of having to get to the day. And so I have to consciously step out of time. I have to let go of the meaning I place on the passage of time. And in doing so, time expands. But more importantly, I'm able to chant without all these things pulling against me. Time's a big one. Time's a linchpin. If you can remove your meaning making about time, everything else kind of collapses. And suddenly you can just be with your chosen point of focus. The best is when you can remember to do it at the beginning of your chanting session, instead of waiting until you realize you're distracted. Then all there is what you're doing, and you're just at one with it. And if you're doing something that's part of your spiritual practice, it has a much, much deeper effect on you than it would otherwise. I almost said, if you do it with something like chanting or something like your spiritual practice, that you become the divinity of that, which is true, but I stopped myself. And the reason I stopped myself is because when you give yourself completely to any movement, any action, everything collapses into that same divinity. The benefit of making it something with a spiritual stamp on it is that when you wake up in the morning before you've got your head on straight, you at least have a nice little story to bring you back into reality. Something that promises to help. Something bigger than you, whatever that is. But you're all legitimate spiritual students. You should be waking up into it. Whatever you can give your attention to, you can be. Everything you are now is a product of what you've given your attention to. But the exact arrangement of it comes from your meaning making. Everything about the way it feels and how people respond to it is part of your filter. And you can just put it down. I've shown you this in a million different ways. It's all the same thing. There's really only one teaching. That teaching is so alluring that people are just willing to hear it over and over and over again, and it always sounds new. It's alluring because it's you. And you've been away from you for so long, you're thirsty for it. Are there any questions about any of that? It's pretty simple. Okay, so let's go back into meditation and just let all of that breathe a little bit. Attention at the forehead and crown. Step into this moment and just be with the simplicity of your breath. Let everything we just said find its place within your energy. Nothing to think about. It's already in there, just let it percolate. If you do that, you'll see it in action. And your knowledge of it will be much deeper. If you think about it, you'll whittle it down into theoretical knowledge, which is not the same. And you'll push the realization of it off into the future a bit. If you're trying to let go of something that's sticking, slow yourself way down. Stop trying to let go of it forever. Stop trying to let go of it for good. And just let go of it right now. See how much more power you have over yourself right now. If it comes back, that just means you've left this moment behind. And so you just return. You slow yourself down. And you let go. And the more you do that, the more you're showing yourself how malleable all of this is. You'll come to know it in a really visceral way. And then you'll be able to sit down for meditation and let go of all of it in an instant. Or you'll watch an anger cropping up and you'll just release the past. Just right now. this week, I want you to watch for your meaning making. What filters are you stuck in? What filters are you sticking your life in? And I want you to have at least one experience, at least one big experience of really just letting one go. I mean, you're caught up in something, your beliefs are engaged, and instead of following down the trail of all your assigned meanings, in that moment you're going to slow yourself way down and you're just going to open up within it without interpretation. In the past, I've given you techniques of asking your divine self to show you what this looks like through its eyes and all of that so that you can make some of your filters available to your higher consciousness for changing. But this week, don't even do that. Don't replace it with another filter. Just let it go and sit with the initial discomfort of that. Don't need a filter. Your filters are just like clothes you wear. They're not you. They're useful for this world. You kind of have to have some in order to do anything here. But if you don't see that you can let go of them, it's going to be hard to gain mastery of letting them go and reworking them to something more useful. Okay, so this week you're going to watch. Watch them as they come up. And when you get a doozy, let it go. Consciously drop it. Don't resolve it. Let everything be exactly the way it is. And you drop your interpretation. You're going to hate it. But after you sit with it a little while, it's going to give you a tremendous freedom. Any questions before we end for the night? All right, everybody. I will see you next Thursday. I hope you all have a great week. Bye. See you.